to the Explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolute modern marvel. We're going to dive into the fascinating story of exactly how a barren stretch of desert transformed into the ultimate global symbol of wealth and ambition. We are looking at the Dubai miracle.
Just picture a place where ambition literally has no ceiling. We're talking about a skyline completely defined by towering skyscrapers that pierce the clouds, and streets where multi-million-dollar supercars are, well, they're just the standard daily commute.
Today, Dubai is basically synonymous with unlimited luxury. It projects this incredible image of unmatched wealth and power, cultivating a lifestyle that, honestly, most of the world can only dream about. It's known globally for exactly this kind of unapologetic, massive ambition.
Section 1. From Sand to Riches.
But you know, all the glitz we see today is a stark contrast to the reality from just a few decades ago. Before the massive skyscrapers and all the global attention, Dubai was just a quiet stretch of sand with a pretty modest local economy. The dream city we know today, it simply didn't exist.
And look, this transformation definitely wasn't some overnight accident. It was a very deliberate evolution. The discovery of oil brought the first massive wave of wealth, sure, but the true genius was what happened next. They aggressively funneled that temporary windfall right into tourism, business, and real estate, ultimately creating the billionaire magnet we see today.
Section 2. Designing the Future. So oil was obviously the initial spark, right? It brought in that critical first wave of money. But Dubai's leadership recognized something crucial. Oil is finite. Knowing what to do with a sudden, massive influx of capital, that is exactly what separates a temporary boomtown from a lasting empire.
What they did was execute a highly calculated master plan to diversify their economy well before those wells ran dry. They systematically built up 4 massive pillars: global tourism, international business hubs, mega real estate developments, and, of course, world-class luxury experiences. This whole strategy materialized into some truly unprecedented mega projects. I mean, they literally dredged the ocean to build sprawling artificial islands like the Palm Jumeirah. They erected ultra-luxury hotels, built the world's largest shopping centers. All of this infrastructure turned the city into an absolute magnet for global wealth and entrepreneurial ambition.
Section 3. The Price of Luxury. But it does make you wonder, what is the actual true price of all this limitless luxury? Because when a city is built entirely on pure ambition and high-speed growth, it creates a really intense, almost relentless psychological reality for anyone trying to make it there.
First off, intense competition. Behind all the shiny supercars, there's a really grueling battle for success going on. The city attracts the absolute most ambitious people on Earth, which means you are constantly competing against the best of the best. And with that comes incredibly high risk. You just can't have astronomical opportunity without an equal measure of danger. Sustaining this level of wealth requires navigating a seriously high-stakes landscape where a single misstep can cost you everything. The survival mindset here is pretty brutal, but it's simple. Standing still means falling behind. Resting on your laurels? Yeah, that's a luxury you simply cannot afford in a city that is always accelerating.
Section 4. The Ultimate Statement. When you really zoom out and look at the complete journey, going from a quiet, barren desert to a completely dominant, interconnected global empire, it proves that this whole story is about way more than just pouring concrete and stacking glass.
Ultimately, Dubai represents the sheer power of thinking big. It's an actual, physical monument to bold decisions and uncompromising vision. It stands out there in the desert as a symbol of what can happen when absolute ambition meets execution and power. Which really brings us to a final thought to leave you with. What could extreme ambition build in your own life? We've seen what happens when massive vision and relentless drive collide on a citywide scale. If a quiet stretch of sand can become a global empire through a sheer refusal to stand still, what could you build? Thanks for joining this explainer, and keep thinking big.